So we are all set. We are off and running and on the air.
Well, we are right now. That's the intro. I like it.
It's going to have to be. I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be no family show today because Andy lives out in the hinterlands and he can't get in because I guess the snow has been. How many inches of snow you gotten so far?
God, that's a good question.
I don't know, but it is a significant amount. We'll say
that's what I hear. Yeah. So, and the other thing about it is trying to get the equipment to work in studio because for some reason God is pissed off at me or something. I don't know what I did, but there's always something, don't you think?
Yeah, or say it's more likely that he's pissed off at me because he won't let me into the StreamYard.
That's right. We can't see you because it echoes when we can see you, which I've never understood, but that's cool. Anyway, we'll take a quick break here. Be right back in a couple of seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Now, are you going to be able to do the Bradshaw and Bryant?
Yes, I think I should be able to.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Okay.
Hi, Tom here for Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities, memory care facilities, of course, are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity, which is very, very important. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is the place I highly recommend. I've known these people for decades. Nice people. Good family. Wellshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team, always staffed within the building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Wellshire of Medina is now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally, and they are family-owned, local company, conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They are the best staffed memory care facility in the state, as a matter of fact. Wellshire has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in, let's say, he's in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. Set up a tour or learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
My Pillow, glad to announce that their Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They will not last long, so get them while you can. The famous My Slippers that have been on sale for over a year now, regular price of $119.98, are now only $59.98. The six-pack towel sets back in stock, too, with extremely limited quantities. And they're only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list, from bathrobes, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Be sure to use promo code TOM to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98 or the six-pack towel sets for just $29.98, but that's not all. They're extending their 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146 today. And please do use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at TomBarnardShow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Now, have we found out yet if Judd has an echo or not? Because what if he has an echo?
We're going to find out right now.
We're about to find out.
No echo.
All right.
Beautiful.
So Tevin's the problem. That's what we're talking about. No matter what mic he's on, it echoes.
Yeah, Judd. So Tevin is here. He's just off camera. We're running into an issue where every time we bring on any other computer in this facility into the StreamYard room, there is an echo. So Tevin's just going to be off camera right now. So that's why.
Okay.
I'm in timeout.
It had to be on this day, of course, because we have Judd right now. Then we have Chris Egert. Then Heather from Livia is going to call and talk about a great year we had together. Lost all that weight and everything. 9 o'clock, Billy Bob Thornton will join us live on the show. I cannot wait. I love talking to Billy Bob.
Oh, Billy Bob's going to join you.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then Kristyn Burtt at 9:15. So hopefully we can get them all on without little kickback.
As long as Billy Bob's appearance works at 9.
He's great.
Do the rest of us really, is it really that big a deal?
He used to come in the studio once in a while when I was over at the Q, and he just, you could not find a nicer guy than Billy Bob Thornton. Just a great guy.
Interesting. He's a heck of an actor, I'll say that.
Mo definitely, he's got Landman doing extremely well, so I'm glad to see that. So what's new with you, Judster?
Well, unfortunately, the Wild played the Florida Panthers, defending Stanley Cup champions, last night and got waxed 6-1.
Oh, God.
They're going through their first real rough stretch, and unfortunately, also for them, it comes during a 5-game homestand that has 1 game left, and on that homestand, they are now 1-3. Now, they've banked a ton of points by playing so well, so they're in no jeopardy right now. But they've got a bunch of guys out injured, which every team has at some point in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Florida kicked their behind. What really sucked about it, Tom, was, so I was debating all day, should I go? Because the game itself was the second game. It was played here in St. Paul, obviously. It was the second game of a national TV doubleheader, and it didn't start until, get this, 8:53 p.m. Local time.
Man.
Almost 10 o'clock in Florida if you were inclined to stay up and watch that. But I thought, you know what? It's a pretty good game. It's a good matchup. I'll go. I'll stay up late. I'll come home and get, a minimal amount of sleep, which is fine. But then it was 6-1. I said, this is a mistake on my part.
You're taking one for the team. Is that the plan?
Well, it's self-inflicted.
Yeah. Did you stay for the whole game, or did you leave early?
No, I stayed for the whole game. Once I committed to it, I figured, screw it, I'll stay for the whole game. But it was disappointing.
Oh, my son Andy's calling me. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Judd, with the Wild, I heard a stat where, you hear it all the time with teams that maybe play a little bit better than they were expected to, where they're beating up on kind of the bottom half of the league, but against playoff teams, they're struggling mightily. Is this kind of, something that we should be concerned about moving forward, where we just can't beat good teams, or is this just kind of a fluke for early season?
Well, I think it's I think it's in part because they're without some top players, because they actually were beating good teams earlier in the season, and now on this homestand's been a mess because they got waxed by the Oilers last Thursday night. Then they came back and beat the Flyers, who are they're spunky but not that good. Then they lost to the Golden Knights, who are really good, and then they lost last night to the Panthers, who are good. But I think part of it is they're playing without some top players, Tevin. The other problem is that some of their top players who are left aren't playing that well now. So, but I don't know that that's a trend, because they definitely, when they were more at full strength earlier in the season, they definitely did beat some good teams.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So more of an injury bug type situation.
Yeah, and guys that have to, you go through periods where guys won't play as well, and that's a problem too. I mean, as you know, the one thing that you would like to see if you really do have a deep and a good team is when some guys get hurt, you would like to see the guys who are still playing pick up the slack. Mm-hmm. And aside from Kirill Kaprizov, maybe Marco Rossi as well, forward-wise, I don't know that has happened like the Wild would like. So,
yeah. It shifted gears kind of to the NBA. Do we regret trading Karl Anthony Towns, who's now been affectionately nicknamed Bodega Cat by the New York market and seems to be the second coming of...
How did that happen? I didn't hear that. That's a great nickname.
Oh, yeah. It's been floating around in social media. Bodega Cat is what they're calling him, and he just looks like an absolute dog out there right now.
No, he does look good. He does look good. I don't regret it, because the whole thing is he was largely traded for salary cap purposes, not because the Wolves are cheap, but because the Wolves basically, if you're in what they call the second tier of the luxury tax or the tax, you can't really make moves. So that's why they traded him in part. But I think we need more time here too. I think we got to see what happens as the season progresses, and especially the playoffs. If Carl goes off in the playoffs, then we got a pretty good conversation. But I don't have as big a problem with the trade as I think a lot of fans do. And with Carl coming back here tonight, I think he gets cheered. I think he gets a standing ovation.
Really? I would have thought maybe he gets a little boo birds out at him.
He didn't ask to be traded. He loved it here. He got traded, unwillingly. So I think the fans here, I think he's going to get. I feel like Carl is one of those guys who's more beloved now after being traded than he probably was wearing the Timberwolves jersey.
That makes sense.
I went through that whole same situation. I got traded too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
By the way, things are working really well. I got a call from Andy. I could hear about every other word he was saying to me. It was breaking up like mad, which it never does. So I think we're having problems all across the metro here, man. It ain't looking too good for communication, right? I mean, we're fine, right?
Yeah, and I mean, even better news. I think we just got a special delivery here.
Yeah, well, I heard the door kept opening and closing, and I was like, well, we're not expecting anybody in studio. And it looks like somebody dropped off some cookies from the landlord saying, hey, Tom, thanks for...
Oh, yeah, they do that every year.
Perfect. So, Tom, we'll get those in the mail for you. Hope it.
Yeah, I'll
test those, AJ.
Yeah.
Test those first.
Yeah, it'll be light freight. Don't worry.
You know how many times it used to happen to me at the Q back in the day, over the 37 years? I'd run into somebody and go, so did you enjoy those skis I sent you? I said, what are you talking about? They constantly send stuff to the station and somebody else would take it.
Yeah, it's a great thing that I'm here first most days because...
Yeah, there you go.
You should see AJ has so many nice things now, Tom. He's got a new car.
Oh, sure.
He's got... it's just incredible the amount of stuff that gets dropped off that he says, you know what? Tom doesn't need this.
Yeah, just last week I had to show up with a trailer just to make sure everything's out of here.
No doubt about it. There's no question. I'm sorry you couldn't see Tevin today, Judd, but he's been a little unruly, so we decided you just step aside for a second. You can still talk, but we don't want to see you.
As we talked about last week, technology is grand till it's not.
That's exactly right.
And then it's the most maddening thing ever because it should work and it doesn't work.
It is true. So, yeah, once again, I'd like to remind people there will be no family show today because Andy got like 8-9 inches of snow out at his house, and they haven't started removing it yet. So that ain't happening. But that's cool. Andy could use a day off anyway, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. He's a shoulder to the wheel type of guy.
Shoulder to the wheel.
He makes the rest of us look like we don't do anything.
All right, Judd, any closing words before the Christmas holiday? This is your last appearance before the Christmas holiday, man.
It is. Big Vikings game. Big Vikings game. Seattle got to keep pace.
Yep.
We'll see now. It's interesting. There's 3 games left. It's going to be like it's 3 tough games, but I mean they have a real chance here. First of all, to win 15 games, which is an incredible thing to say, and second of all, to grab the number 1 seed and home field advantage and a bye in the first round, if they can do it. So we shall see.
I love it. We will stay in touch with you. We'll talk to you after the first of the year, Pally.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Hey,
love working with you, pal.
You
say the same. No, I'll tell him tomorrow. I'll tell you today. It's great working with you.
Great working with you guys too.
Thanks.
It's been a great year. Enjoy.
It has indeed.
Enjoy. All right, guys. See
you as well. Merry Christmas. We shall take a break. Be right back in a couple of seconds. Some other yuck from Channel 5. That kind of deal.
Yeah, I know. Egert said he's working remote today, so I don't know if he's in a snowbank.
Oh, God.
Exactly where he is.
I wonder if he's out at the Holidazzle by that big Yeti they got downtown.
Oh, maybe. All right, here we go. I want to talk a little bit about Josh Arnold. Josh and I have become very, very good friends. Go to dinner all the time. Hang out. He's a good guy. You can trust the guy. So here's the deal. For all of you listening to Tom Barnard Show, I have an announcement for you. I need just 5 of you, just 5 out of the thousands of you listening, tens of thousands actually. I need 5 of you, just 5 listening to me now. Do yourselves a favor, and you are doing yourselves a favor. I need you to take advantage of a free offer. Seriously, free. I need you to call Josh Arnold, 952-925-5608, and tell him Tom sent you. Josh will meet with you for free and give you advice on investing, handling, and making money. He'll answer any and all of your questions about retirement, your 401k, IRA, retirement savings. And by the way, it's free. What do you have to lose? I'm talking to you, pal. You hear me? Be one of my 5 listeners to pick up your phone now. Call 952-925-5608 and ask for Josh, Mr. Money Talk. He'll give you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your investments, and he'll do it for free. So call Josh now at 952-925-5608, but you got to tell him Tom sent you. Then call me afterward and thank me for the free service, because I'm a cool breeze, that's why. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice, and I am a paid endorser.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy. We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face.
Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot.
Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said, so why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Where are you?
I'm at home.
You have banners at your house, do you?
Well, I mean, it's Christmas time. I think it's some nativity banner or some such thing.
It's Christmas time in the city.
I'm going to give you a little insight into how things work around here, Tom. I did not hang that up.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I know it's hard to believe. I basically was told this morning when I got up, my lovely wife, Catherine, was already awake, and I got up and got ready, got dressed, and all the rest of it. I come out. And basically, it was about 20 minutes of criticizing me and how I never do what I say I'm going to do.
Well, that wasn't. Well, right?
It's like, okay, honey. No, you're absolutely right. No question about it. Who's worse than me? No one. That's who it is.
Yeah. She's doing. You're doing okay.
We're doing okay. We're doing just fine. So, any big news we should know about, Pally?
Well, at the moment, the ground delay. So if anybody's getting ready to fly out this morning, ground delay. The snow's supposed to stop somewhere around noon, but I wouldn't expect things to just magically be wonderful out there.
No.
I just drove from St. Paul out to Hopkins, and it took about an hour. I was going around 3 miles an hour between St. Paul and downtown Minneapolis.
Ugh.
So it's one of them days where you can plan on it's going to take 3 times longer probably to get wherever you're going. So,
but you know what's great about that is we, as a show, have done our part. We open up with, you know, we got AJ and we got Tevin, and then Judd came on. Now you, Channel 5's Chris Egert coming on. People calling in to complain about it right now. Just kidding. But no, I mean, it's one of those situations where we've got a bunch of good people on. We've got Heather from Livia is going to be coming on in a bit, about five minutes, something like that, 10 minutes. Then we have Billy Bob Thornton is going to be on with us this morning.
I know, that's super cool. I love Landman. That's one of my favorite shows. It is so good.
He's such a good guy, too. And then, of course, Kristyn Burtt, the queen of all media, will be on to close the show.
He's an awesome gal, too. Hey, let me throw something out to you guys today, because it turned into a bit of a Twitter feud on my Twitter feed this morning.
Okay.
I was talking about school delays.
Mm-hmm.
And how some of the schools are, I don't know, I think last check somewhere well over 100 plus have postponed or canceled for today. Not a lot of the metro schools, for what it's worth, but then some folks started getting into a whole spat about, back in my day, we never canceled school, or back in my day, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's a good debate to have, but the reality is back in my day, they couldn't remote learn then either. You know, it's a little bit different dynamic.
Okay, we have a guest coming up in a couple of minutes here. Apparently pretty fired up about it. I'm going to ask them to call you guys there. I think it's got to be probably Heather calling in right now. I would think.
Oh, yeah, try to get the studio.
Yeah, get the studio line number. Let me just give you your phone number on the air. No, I won't do that.
Hey, can you text me, Tom, can you text me Billy Bob's phone number later?
Yep. I will take care of that. There's no question about that.
All right, I want to give him real-time critiques of Landman.
I love it. I think it's a great idea. I will get that done for you, Pally. But we'll talk to you again tomorrow, right? We'll have the closing day tomorrow.
Yep. You guys have a good rest of your day. Good luck with the rest of the show.
Thanks very much, sir. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. Okay, when we go to commercial, I'm going to give you Heather's number, so if you call her and tell her which number to call, that'd be great. And then I'll take care of the other stuff. Does that work out, Tevin? Can you do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Otherwise, yeah, that's fine too. Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, do you want to just give her the studio line here, or?
Yeah, I could just. You know what? Why don't we? So now I got some. There's about 55 people calling me. I don't get it.
Just popular guy. He's just a busy guy.
I literally have 15 people calling me right now. Okay, can you give the number out over the?
Yeah, that's fine. It's just 952-600-2575.
952-600-2575.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll find out who this is calling, and we'll hop on with you. Thanks.
All right.
Goodbye.
All right, we'll be back right after this, everybody.
A large retail store just canceled a huge order, leaving MyPillow with a ton of extra MyPillows. But you know what? That's their loss, and it's your gain. For the first time ever, you will get a standard classic MyPillow for wholesale prices, only $14.88. But it gets even better. For a limited time, they're going to offer their entire classic collection at wholesale prices. Get queen-size MyPillows for just $18.88. Upgrade to king-size for only $1 more. Get the body pillows for $29.88 and multi-use MyPillows only $9.88. So go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Tom or call 800-516-5146 to take advantage of wholesale pricing for the first time ever. And receive free shipping on orders over $75. That's right. Get the standard MyPillow for only $14.88. They have never been offered this low before. There are limited quantities, of course. You understand that. So the limit is going to be 10. And once they're gone, they're gone. So go to MyPillow.com, call 800-516-5146, and use promo code Tom to get the standard MyPillow for only $14.88, the lowest price ever. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings 8 to 9:30 or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm rocking out, man. What do you think of that action?
That's fantastic. You know who else is rocking out?
Who?
Your good friend from Livia.
Heather.
Heather.
Is that who it is?
Yes. We got her on
Heather.
rock.
Well, it's a little early to rock out, but I'm on board. Let's get it.
A little early to rock out. No, I'm glad you came on because we're wrapping up the year, and I had a great year working with you guys. Of course, I've known Carol for, I think, about 150 years, something like that. I think that's
you guys
right.
Live a really good, healthy life. It's all the nutritional support and active living.
No question. So what's the latest with you, Heather?
Well, let's see. As you just said, I think we've got 8 inches of snow, and you're experiencing it. Are you in Florida? Where are you?
Boy, look at the time, Heather. Actually, my son Andy, he lives about 40 minutes out of town, something like that, and so he called. He got even more snow out there, I think. But yeah, so the family show will not be on today. We got only the city dwellers. You know.
All right. Well, just in time for a white Christmas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, as far as Livia, what's going on here? Well, we're celebrating our 15-year anniversary, which is quite an accomplishment. We're really proud of that and the impact we've been able to make on so many people's lives over the years, including yours. And I think the last time we saw each other, I couldn't believe my eyes, honestly. You look tremendous. You look healthy. You look, 30 years younger. I mean, so many things. You do look great. It's great to see you. So yeah, you're just one of many that we're celebrating in terms of, all the impact that our team has had over the years.
Well, everybody does a really, and by the way, I've heard that through my whole life. It's like, yeah, Tom, you need some improvement. So, I finally went out and got it. It all worked out in the end,
Well, you finally made the right call.
Well, I will tell you something, Heather. It's not difficult to follow the program either. It's not one of those, you got to do this part and you got to eat stuff you don't like and you got to do it. There's none of that with Livia, which is, one reason why I lost all that weight. It's a whole different situation. Because I'm not one of those guys, oh, yeah, I'll go ahead and eat something I don't want to eat. I'm not like that. I really am not. Yeah. So this worked out.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. And I think what we do recognize, and me personally, weight loss is not easy. So for, like you just mentioned, to have restrictions or if you feel like it's hard in any way, you just don't want to do it. So typically when people decide that now is the time, obviously you want it to work, you want it to be quick, which obviously you experience, and most certainly you want it to last, which is really what I think separates us from other programs out there. It's easy to follow. You're going to see quick results. And then, of course, as you know, now paired with the GLP-1 weight loss medication, certainly you can accelerate your results, which now Livia does offer. So we have, of course, as you know, the full medical team, which I believe you personally experienced some good support in that way. And then when you pair that with, our award-winning nutrition program, it really is a nice complement. Again, just in any situation, if you choose to do something, you're going to have results, but you want to have them quick and you want to make sure that it's a healthy, safe way to do that. And of course, you work so hard, you want to make sure it lasts. And that's really what we focus in on. And I think that piece is so important, that education and making it a lasting experience.
And this is a big part for us because obviously we're in the middle of the Christmas season, Hanukkah, all these holidays, Kwanzaa, of course, coming up. A lot of things. Are there things is there one or two, maybe even three things that people, look, I know it's the holiday season, but you should probably stay away from this stuff because, this is a 2-week season, actually. Like I said, with all this stuff going on, it's 2 full weeks, 14 days of, Christmas Eve dinner, Christmas Day dinner, then we got that dinner, and then the friends want to have this dinner, and then it's New Year's Eve, and then it's New Year's Day. Are there certain particular things, if you just kind of stay away from that, you'll do well? Anything like that?
Well, it's funny. Yeah, I'm glad that you asked that. And it's funny that you mentioned that. Just yesterday we were talking as a team, our nutrition team, as the holidays aren't just one day. It's a series of days over a period of, a couple of weeks. So it can be difficult to navigate. So that truly is where our personalized, youth-centric approach comes into play. Because what we don't want to do at Livia is just, promote all of these points of, restrictions and that you can't have this and you shouldn't do this. But to your point, some things to consider. So we often, and I think you and I talked about this last time, there are sometimes foods at Livia, and that this period of time it applies. So just if you want to participate or if you want to engage in those little extras, we're not saying don't do it, but moderation is key. So that's really where we help individuals navigate. And then, of course, there are, recommendations like mocktails and limiting, just essentially limiting and not overindulging. And again, that's really what we like to promote with our clients is just we're going to help you navigate during these, more difficult times of year. And studies show that most people gain a lot of weight from right now with Thanksgiving until the beginning of the year. So that's when we highly recommend don't step away from your program or your decision to be healthy. Kind of lean into it right now because we're going to help you, if not lose, at least maintain and not gain. So that really is our motto at this moment. Not gain. Let's at least lose, if not maintain.
Yeah, see, that makes it takes a lot of pressure off somebody. Oh, if I could just maintain, if I, let's say some average guy out there weighs 165, 170 pounds, and they want to keep it there. I think that's a very prudent way to put it because nobody wants to skip out on the Christmas dinners and things like that, obviously.
Well, we're just social human beings, and this is the sort of thing that we like to participate in, and it just sort of, brings all of this joyful time together. So we really just want to help our clients navigate and feel like they're equipped to make good decisions. So to your point, you worked so hard to lose all this weight. Don't sabotage all of that within just a couple of weeks' time.
No question. Now, I do have to ask you this, even though I don't partake myself, try to help other people out. Is there a certain level of alcohol you can drink during the holidays without putting on a ton of weight?
Hand up here, Heather, because Tom is asking specifically for me.
There you go.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, and that's a very common question. I'll be honest, and myself included. So it really does go back to, certainly removing those high sugar content choices from your decision making. So that would be my first order of advice. And the other piece of it is, again, it really is just moderation. And then if you could alternate a glass of water just to, kind of slow down your consumption, that certainly is a really important decision and recommendation as well.
So, look at that. AJ, look at all you learned just now.
That sounds like the start to not only a healthy holiday season, but maybe some good habits for the future after that.
And then perhaps not such a significant hangover when you incorporate more water.
Heather, you made my mornings a lot more pleasant.
All
That
right,
does help. I could throw in my story that I was not there, but friends of mine told me it was true that we had a friend that was Christmas buffet at his family's house, and he was having some dental problems. So he goes in and he gets his dental problems fixed. And I guess it didn't work out all that great, because as he was standing at the family buffet, he actually projectiled all over the food. So they all had to go out to dinner. Now that's a problem.
No. Yeah, that is a problem. And certainly he made it for a memorable experience.
Well, see, that's a good way to put it. It's a very memorable experience. So it all worked out for the best. Correct?
Correct.
I don't know. It just like I said, and I'm here to tell you, I talked to Carol and many people. Heather's been great to me over the years. You guys are that's the one thing I guess is the best way to close the discussion, is you guys are all, you can't do this and you can't do. I never heard it can't one time. It's like, here's what we recommend you do. And, it worked out beautifully. There's no question about that. I just, I am grateful for people that step up and try to help you out, and it gets done. You guys do a great job with that.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. And I think you personally, were committed, obviously, and you had some personal health goals that you wanted to achieve. You look great. You're obviously really disciplined. For you.
Yeah.
To your point, Dr. Paul Olson, our medical director,
Love
you and
him.
him go way back. And I think that,
Yep.
Livia's approach, as we've been talking about it really isn't about shame. It's about really helping people navigate. Weight loss is not easy. And, we really just want to pick people up where they might fall. Life gets in the way. And then when you pair, again, whether your choice be just a holistic approach, whether it be a nutrition-centric program, or perhaps you do want to incorporate, these GLP-1 medications, which our medical team can really help you navigate, because that can be difficult. And again, each person is different. So instead of just getting, medication online or through a different source, I just highly recommend you consider Olivia for that reason, where we do really just help you navigate, just your personal circumstances, because they are different for everyone. So, and you probably know this too, Tom, but just if you're someone that's interested in visiting us in person, where you can have that face-to-face experience, or if you choose to do, a telehealth medical experience through our medical team, you really have a lot of different options. And for us, one of the things that's new is that it is simply about whatever your weight loss path, again, medication, nutrition, we are your destination for whatever that personal choice is. And again, to your point, there's no shame. If you had trouble and maybe you stepped away, that's okay. We've all been in that boat. And I think that's really what our team does, is make sure you feel comfortable and that you truly feel like you're part of a family experience. For these past 15 years, I'd say that's what we're most proud of. And I'm glad that we could help you get to your goal and keep it up. You look good. You look really good.
For me. AJ, how are we looking on the clock?
We got about 2 minutes here.
Okay, he's going to be with us. You already talked to the people?
Yep. Art's going to give me a call back here in about 2 minutes with Billy Bob, and he's got to be out for sure by 10 after.
By 10 after.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we better go to break right now. If you want to, Heather, you want to hang on and say hello to Billy Bob Thornton?
Okay. Well, the fact that you are meeting with him is incredible. I would love that.
We can just say a quick hello. Well, tell you what, we'll take a break, be right back, and you can say a quick hello to Billy Bob Thornton. I think it's wonderful. We'll be right back right after this.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings 8 to 9:30 or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Boy, you handled that really, really well there, AJ. Don't you think?
I like to think I know what I'm doing every once in a while.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Heather is with us from Livia, ladies and gentlemen. Billy Bob Thornton going to join us in a couple of seconds.
He's already on.
Oh, he's ready to go?
Sad, yeah.
Billy Bob, I haven't seen you in a while, but when you came in a couple of times, I was over at KQRS at that time. You came in, you did the state fair. How you doing, sir?
I'm very good. It's so good to talk to you again. We had a good time a couple of times there, didn't we?
We had a magnificent time, and you know what I love about this? Billy Bob Thornton with us, ladies and gentlemen, Landman on Paramount Plus, new episodes every Sunday. Great show, and we'll get to that in a second. But we just talked to Heather, who's a good friend and one of our sponsors. Would you mind saying hello to Heather for us, Billy Bob?
Of course I will. Hey, Heather, how's it going? Happy holidays.
Well, hello, Billy Bob. This is quite a gift for me. My husband and I finally agree on one show, and it's your show. So I just have to say that because it's a nightly argument.
Oh, nice.
But finally, we have something that we agree on.
That's so good. I'm always happy to help out a marriage.
Thank you for this Christmas gift, and thank you for the opportunity to say hello. And we admire your work, and nice to talk with you, Tom. And I'll let you guys get back, and happy holidays to everyone.
Thank you, Heather. Happy holidays to you. No question about it.
Thank
Magnificent. So that's one thing I love about this show, Billy Bob, is that people like you, you step up. First of all, the couple of times you came in, and then you were like I said, you appeared at the State Fair. You've been on the phone many, many times, and I'm, like I said, I'm a huge fan of yours. You know that. I've enjoyed talking to you over the years, and just to see your name on the docket again, talking about Landman, which, as she said, that's the only TV show she and her husband ever agreed on was Landman with Billy Bob Thornton.
That's awesome.
It is wonderful. You know, Billy Bob, I got to be honest with you. Your character on Landman and my character are the exact same thing, because your character and I am kind of a pain in the ass. Is that a good way to put it?
Well, you know what, Tom? Maybe we are, but it's because there are so many people around us who are pains in the ass.
That's what I'm taking away from Landman. I will tell you that. No question. Billy Bob, how did you get that scene from the first episode? That thing was a massive fire. That was a very, very impressive piece of work there.
Well, I have to say, I've always respected, the people who work with fire departments, and especially here in Southern California, because we have it in spades, I hear. But I got to say, after I did that scene, my respect went up even more. I was fairly close to that fire, and I thought I was going to melt. Yeah. It was quite impressive, and I can't remember the numbers, but God, it was. They told me how much fuel burned in that, scene, and it was some crazy amount. And it was. Those things are no joke,
Right. Yeah, no question about that. But I just now, when you sat down, as far as Landman is concerned, did you develop your character to be who your character is? Was that 100% your idea? Did other people have some input on it? It's a great character.
Oh, well, thank you. Taylor pretty much wrote it for me. So
right.
When he first told me about this, he said, I'm writing this show for Paramount called Landman. It's going to be written around you, and I'm going to write it in your voice. Because I'd already done a cameo for him in 1883, and when we had the premiere of that in Las Vegas, I sat with him at dinner afterward, and he said, he told me all that stuff. He kind of gave me the brief sketch of what the show was about. But he said, I've been around you enough to where I think I've got your voice. He said, I want to write it in your voice. And when I read the first script, I was like, sure enough, he kind of did, and he was pretty right on the money with that. So if I were a Landman, I'd probably be about like that.
You know what? Taylor Sheridan, amazing. I don't even know how many shows he's got on now. I watch them all. He does a magnificent job. He is just so good at locking in. Like I said, working with Billy Bob Thornton all of a sudden, that fit is perfect for me as a viewer. I will tell you that.
Yeah, it fit like a glove, that part. It really did. And that, people always say it. They are friends of mine. They say this looks like you up there, and it's like, yeah, kind of. Hopefully, I'm not as much of a pain in the ass sometimes.
No, you're not. No, I've met you a couple of times. You're a good guy. As a matter of fact, I do want to tell you that because I probably have never told you that over the times that you came and appeared on my morning show, or you called in, or whatever the situation is. You're always so very, very pleasant. I love watching your team. I don't care what you're doing. If you're in it, I'm watching it. That's just how it is. I like the way you handle your career, your fame, all the rest of it. You do a very good job with that. Did your mother or father tell you, hey, look, you can do whatever you want, just don't be a pain in the ass? Is that what it was?
Well, yeah. They told me in different ways. My mother told me... My mother told me very kindly and said, always be good to people, and, I went to them, and my dad said, you're a pain in the ass. You get thrown up against the wall. So.
And that's your character. So you're actually playing your dad? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I've played him several times, actually.
Billy Bob, see, now that we've learned something.
I'm always playing I'm playing my dad almost every damn thing.
But look how well you're doing. So yeah, I did not get along with my father very well. So maybe that's one of the things too that I love so much about it, Billy Bob, is that I watch it and I don't feel so alone because my father and I never got along very well, and I can kind of see that in some of your characters.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, you can't help but be influenced by your upbringing and everything, and so a lot of times you'll put some of your life experiences into your characters, and not always on purpose, just because it kind of happens.
Yeah, I mean that makes total sense to me. But I wanted you to know, like I said, after all these, I was trying to think of the first time you came in the studio is probably, maybe 7, 8 years ago, something like that. I was very impressed with you as a person because you really are dedicated to what you do. The one thing I would say is, I don't know who picked out the women in your show, but they did a good job, Billy Bob.
Yeah, they did a dandy job.
Yes, dandy.
It makes it hard to go to work. Taylor's pretty good at, picking out the people to play these characters. And, for instance, the character that Allie Larder plays, my ex-wife, I've been around that area, Dallas-Fort Worth area, especially a lot. And characters like that exist. I mean, sometimes people say, oh, isn't that character a little, over the top? And I'm like, no. I said, I know people like that. I said, I got a cousin down there in Dallas. I'll introduce you to her sometime, and you'll meet pretty much what Allie Larder plays.
So that's the best stuff anyway. Stuff that's based on reality to me is it's such a home run because it really did happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. But Taylor's very good. picking out the right folks.
That makes total sense. Are we going to be able to talk you into bringing your band to town again soon?
You know, we'd love to. We still, to this day, all the guys in the band and I, we talk about how playing the Minnesota State Fair was the best one of the state fairs we've ever done.
Yeah.
And we had the greatest time. And, I think it's the best state fair we've ever been to. Period. And I'm not just saying that because I'm talking with you. It's really the truth. We've played a few of them, and that's definitely our favorite. And so I'm not really sure. I guess maybe just the timing hasn't worked out or something. I don't know, but we'd love to play it again.
Well, we'd love to have you, and I'd love to have you back in studio. It'd be great to see you again, pal.
Well, you too, Tom. It's always good talking to you, man.
Thank you. Well, hopefully we'll talk again soon, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Have a great run. And by the way, Landman, another home run, pal. Great job.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, Tom.
We'll talk soon. Billy Bob Thornton, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, one of the greatest guys you'd ever want to meet in person. I just, the guy's a huge star. He produces shows, he writes shows, he stars in shows. You run into him on the street, you would never know he's a big movie star.
He seems like such a down-to-earth guy.
Yeah.
Just a great guy.
And when you I feel like I never realized how much he's been in until you pull up his IMDb and you're like, he's everywhere. Action movie, Bad Santa. But he's Landman. He does everything, in every type of role. And then he seems like he's a very down-to-earth and humble guy.
He is. He's very, very humble. And that's why whenever I get the call, and that what he did there, with Heather was just very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even ask him if it was okay if I brought her on because I knew he wouldn't care because he's that kind of guy. Well, I don't want him taking up a bunch of my... No. She's a fan. He loves his fans. If you're a fan of Billy Bob, he really does appreciate it. I will tell you that. I've seen it in person. Just a great guy. No question. We have to take a little bit of a break in a second here. Today is the final day to bid, win, and save up to 70% off your holiday shopping with the Tom Barnard Holiday Online Auction. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword auction to register. View and bid on items. Bidding is now live, but ends tonight at 8 o'clock. Over $60,000 in items are up for auction. The items include Ultimate Golf Package, Deer Run Golf Course valued at $6,700. Golf lesson and 10-hour pass from Swing Lab, that's $520. A 2024 quad hauler from Pleasureland RV, that's $7,750. One night stays at the Intercontinental Hotel at Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, $250. And free education with a certificate program at the Institute for Non-Destructive Testing, $12,045. All you have to do is visit TomBarnardShow.com, enter keyword auction to register, view and bid on the items, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, and I was checking out some of the prices here before the show this morning.
Oh, yeah.
They're still very, very much in that kind of, you're getting a massive deal. You'd be silly, I think, at this point to at least not go take a look because all of the stuff that you just talked about, there's other stuff too, but all of the items that you can bid and win on are, super cool, either experiences or something that you're going to use all the time, and you could get a potentially steep discount on it. So all you got to do is just go online in order to bid on that. Once again, like you said, Tom, TomBarnardShow.com, keyword auction closes at 8 o'clock tonight.
There it is. Thank you, sir. We shall take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Kristyn Burtt will join us, KB2, right after this.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser. I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast, and I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at TomBarnardShow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, another superstar just popped on the screen.
What did you do to Tevin?
Tevin's mic is echoing for some reason. We don't know why.
So you kicked him off the show?
Yeah, I'm here. You don't have to be stuck looking at me today.
Oh.
There it is. No question about it. How come you didn't pop on during Billy Bob Thornton? That would have been fun.
I know. I was writing an article, so
Oh.
I have to go back and listen to it.
I'm too big a deal, Tom. I was doing it.
I got to do work.
Tell your husband to get a job, for God's sake. Let's
know.
go.
He's still in bed sleeping right now. How dare he?
Yeah, there you go.
He's
There
actually
you have
controlling the cats. I don't know what's going on, but there's like a cat circus in our living room. So I'm like, take care of the cats. They're noisy.
It'll happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt, Entertainment News, brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Yeah, we just talked to Billy Bob Thornton. Billy Bob used to come in. He came in the studio several times when I was at KQRS and hung out. And then other times I would run into him. One of the nicest guys. How many Hollywood guys are that nice?
There's plenty. I mean, you do encounter a lot of nice people. I'm going to be honest. Yeah. I would say my bad stories are a lot smaller than my good stories.
Do you have a worse story?
I've had some weird stories. I had a really weird interview with Tom Sizemore.
He can be very weird. You're right.
Well, now that he's passed away, it would be really weird to have a conversation with him.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah. And Thomas Jane. Did you ever interview Thomas
Jane?
Jane?
Oh, yeah.
He went through a phase for a while where he was not wearing shoes. So he would go barefoot down the red carpet or wear those, those like grippers that have like the toes, like some people run in them. You know what I'm talking about? He would wear those. I had a really strange interview with him as well. So when you have those weird ones, you're like, oh, God, how do I get out of this? Because you just want them to move on.
Yes.
The weirder they are, the longer they stay in front of your microphone.
No, listen, I mean, obviously I can say this because my wife is a beautiful woman as well, but you're a very attractive woman. Does that cause you a lot of problems with these guys?
No, you know why? I think because, and I've said this before, I'm a big boundaries person, and I don't feel like I give off a lot of that flirtatious energy.
No, you don't.
And sometimes when they do try, I might go along with it, but if they keep going on and it gets annoying, it's just the wall is so far up. I'm like, guy, you're not making any headway with me. It's annoying.
You have to tell them flat out.
Yeah, like my guy, stop.
Yeah, that's enough. Just go away. Yeah, that's got to be a pain.
Yeah, I'll say, or they start hitting on you, and you're like, "I'm a reporter. I know you have a wife and kids at home. Like, what are you doing over here?"
The crazy thing is that there are plenty of reporters who do sleep with their interview subjects. And this is not just in the entertainment industry. This goes across the board. And I think it's surprising the number who do versus who don't. I had friends, I'm not going to out who they are, but they were asking me like, oh, so who have you hooked up with that you've interviewed? And I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh
Zero.
God.
My
They
number is
asked you
0.
that?
Yeah, because she was just joking. But she's like, oh, yeah, I like this person and this person. I'm like, oh, my gosh. No, I do not put myself in those situations.
You're like just the guy from I Love Lucy.
Exactly.
William Frawley? Fred Mertz?
Bill Mendieta. But
Get
yeah,
over
I
it.
mean, but yeah, I think if you just let people know that you're interested, it happens a lot. Like, if you look at like there used to be this Entertainment Tonight reporter. She's no longer on the show, Lauren Zima. She's now married to Chris Harrison, who used to host The Bachelor, and they slid into each other's DMs, and they're now married. And it was a very blurry situation because at the time he was hosting The Bachelor, she was on Entertainment Tonight and had an entertainment show that was kind of like a recap show of The Bachelor, and she was getting all these exclusives. And you're like, where are the lines of like separating work and pleasure? And then when everything blew up for Chris Harrison, things blew up for her at work too,
Oh, yeah.
because she was involved with him. So I'm surprised that Entertainment Tonight didn't nip that in the bud at the time when it was all happening, saying like, hey, you can't cover The Bachelor because you're sleeping with The Bachelor host.
Yeah. Well, that's some pretty good advice, isn't it? I would think.
You would think, and a lot of this happened sort of, well, no, I was going to say it happened pre-Me Too, but it happened post-Me Too because I think his job blew up around 2020 or 2021. So, you know, obviously they didn't care.
Yeah. I guess they did not care. What are you going to do? It's kind of like Catherine. She doesn't care either.
She doesn't care. She's on The Family and she's sleeping with the guy. And
Happened to be her husband. but,
very
you know.
messy, I know.
Boy, it was a great start today, though, because basically when I got up, she was already awake. And basically, I found out in the first 10 minutes that I did nothing right yesterday. So we moved on with today, you know.
What did you do wrong yesterday?
I don't even remember. She's hard at work. She's going to kind of redo the house and paint different areas and put little things. I don't know. I said, honey, we've moved like 3 times in the last 4 months. Can we just back off a little bit, just calm down through the holiday season? No, we got to get this done. I'm like, oh, God.
She needs to nest. Women like oftentimes need to nest. And I saw her,
Yeah.
she was putting in your sliding drawers in your
She
cabinet.
showed you that?
Oh, it was on social media. So
Oh, my God. Nice
so I
life
know
you got
all about the drawers that she bought during the pandemic and all about the new drawers that she bought now for your condo.
Oh, yeah, she's very, very excited about that whole
She's
deal.
very
There's no
handy. I was impressed that she was like, I'm going to mark this and do that. And I'd be
Oh,
like-
yeah.
To me, I'd be like, that is a blue job, not a pink job. And I'd hand it right over to my husband.
Well, I got to be honest with you. It ain't a blue job in our family either because you don't want me touching any of that stuff.
Gotcha.
I am not good at that stuff at all.
You're not
I
handy,
talk.
huh?
I schmooze for a living. That's what I do.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, everything is a pink job. I'm like, trash, pink job.
Yeah, there you go.
Changing batteries, pink. Blue job. I won't
Blue
say
job. No, I understand. I understood blue job. There's no question about it. So what else is happening? Anything? Now, again, I'm having a wonderful day because I've talked to several different friends, whether it's Heather, Billy Bob, you, the fine people who appear on this show. We're sliding into the Christmas season. Tomorrow's the last show before Christmas, so
Literally
very
sliding
excited.
with today's weather.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, 7 to 10 inches, depending on where you live.
Yeah, we're
In
going to get quite a bit of
Minnesota?
snow. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
getting quite a
that's
bit
what
of
Today?
snow. Yes.
Yep. There's no family show because Andy lives like 40 minutes out of town, so it's not going to work.
It was 80 degrees yesterday here in Los
Yeah,
Angeles.
shut up.
And you guys, I was walking. I
Shut
was
up.
talking to my mom and walking, and I'm like, I don't think I have enough sunscreen for how strong and hot it is.
Get out of the show.
You're breaking up.
Up,
Right, frozen.
up.
I think I have a mission in 2025, Tom. I was thinking about this because
Okay.
White Lotus season 3 dropped a teaser trailer, and I was like, I really feel like we need to get you to watch this because Walter Goggins is on.
Oh, I love Walter Goggins.
I know you do, and his storyline looks really good.
Do I have to look at another guy's package?
I think so. I'm pretty sure, and it probably is his, actually.
Oh, it's going to be his package.
I
Great.
think it's going to be his because he has like a May-December romance, and I know in the trailer I saw him naked-ish, so probably.
Naked-ish. So should I go back to season 1 and 2 and then go to 3?
I mean, each season is its own separate story. Like this one takes place in Thailand.
Okay.
There are a couple of through lines through each season. People will reappear. So if you would like to understand those little tiny threads from season 1 into season 3, I would go back and watch. Both series are great.
But I have to look at the schwanz.
Yeah, you could cover your eyes. You could walk out of the room and get a snack.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. If a woman starts like coming on screen with a bunch of boobs, are you all in?
You mean boobs as in stupid men?
No, like boobs. Boobs.
I have never, when there's nakedness, I like to be involved, so I don't really care much of that. It's so good.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but you're not staring at like a lot of the nudity for a long time anyway. They're very like, it's a flash of something.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like I said, never mind. I was going to say something was really kind of nasty, so I decided not to say that.
The edit button went off in his head. We all heard it, right?
Dump button real quick.
You were going to use a dump button, but I used my own anyway, so it all
I know. I heard it click like in real time.
Right. Absolutely true. So what's new in your life? You got any things that you have to do during the holiday season? You have to work?
I do have to work a little bit.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought you said that.
Yeah, news does not like go anywhere. You still have to cover it. I'm doing a little bit of holiday coverage for the outlet. Nothing crazy though. It'll be like do your articles and then run out the door. You know what I mean? It's not a full day of work. It'll be half day at most. So
yeah, but you still got to work. That's too bad.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, I've got the important days off and I'll relax and I will rot on the couch like I love to do and catch up on some shows that I've missed.
Like what?
I want to see a couple of Netflix shows. The Kristen Bell one that I missed. Did you see it, AJ?
My girlfriend, I think, watched the first episode or two.
Anyone?
What's it called?
Anyone But You or any?
No, Anyone But You is that Sydney Sweeney movie with Glenn Powell.
I know.
It Ends With Us or
It Ends With Us is Blake Lively.
Okay.
That's also on Netflix right now.
Nobody Wants This?
Nobody Wants This.
Nobody Wants This, yes.
Look, they do all these sort of like generic titles and they all sound like the same TV show movie. Isn't that weird?
And arguably you could if you glance, if you just do a quick glance, it's like, that's just another white blonde woman.
Yes.
It's true. Blake Lively, Kristen Bell, but Nobody Wants This. I'm dying to see that. So I missed that over the fall.
Why is Netflix just kicking everybody else's butt with the new shows?
I think that they've had a longer time to realize what their audience wants.
Sure.
And they've started to really weed out the content. They're not going to give us as much content as they used to, but they're still giving us more volume than anybody else is. And they've done really well with Korean dramas and rom-coms. So you've got that. I've got one more episode left of La Palma, which I really enjoy, and that comes out of Norway. It's really fascinating to watch different shows from other parts of the world, which weren't accessible to us before. And then, when it comes to Christmas, they've got the Christmas market cornered in the same way that Hallmark does, but they're different types of movies. Netflix is a lot more edgy in comparison to what you're going to see on Hallmark.
I tell you, last night, Catherine, I watched the original Christmas Story.
Oh.
What a wonderful, wonderful movie that is. It's just
You'll shoot your eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out. That's exactly. And then, of course, he almost does. But, other than that.
I saw they did a stage musical of it, too.
Oh, really?
Yes, they adapted it. And it is really fun. There's a ton of kids in it who are always super talented. I saw the national tour when it was in Boston. Now we're going back about a decade. But Dan Lauria, played the father from.
Oh yeah.
Yes, from Wonder Years. He was so good in that. I really enjoyed it. So if it ever comes through Minneapolis, the holiday season, that's a fun one to watch.
Why did the original woman, Melanie, what was her name, the original mother in the first Christmas Story? Well, she didn't do part 2. She didn't do A Christmas Story Christmas. She didn't do the second movie. Starred in a bunch of other things. She unfortunately died a few years ago, but I don't understand why she didn't come back for the second Christmas.
Was she?
Was it Melanie Dillon? Yes, that's exactly who it is.
Was she ill during the?
She might have been.
Yeah.
Maybe that's true.
Yeah.
She was so good as that. You could just look at her and go, "Oh my God, the husband and kids have worn her out." There's no doubt.
The husband with the leg lamp is exhausting.
Oh God, that is such fragile. Ooh, must be from Italy.
Must be Italian.
And that little thuggy prick wearing the raccoon hat.
Oh yeah.
Kevin loves him.
When you stick your tongue to a pole, like when it's that
Yes.
cold in Minnesota, you guys know. I used to remember when I lived in Minnesota, just you'd walk outside and you'd breathe and your nostrils would stick together.
yeah.
And I'd be like,
Yep.
what is that?
Did you ever put your tongue on a pole?
No, I did not.
You guys?
That movie's the reason why I didn't.
No, my little brother did when he was in, like, we were walking home from school and we found a metal pole and he stuck his tongue to it and he had to run home, grab a cup of hot water, run back and
Yep.
to free him.
Luckily, I was at Cleveland Park and I did it, and there was a guy drinking a cup of coffee. So luckily, he poured that over and then my tongue came right off the pole.
Did you also burn your tongue?
It kind of felt like it, but it didn't do any permanent damage.
So you had freezer burn and you had coffee burn.
Yes, I had both. I had both.
He didn't
It
leave
all-
a chunk of his tongue on the pole, so that's all that matters.
No, I did not. But yeah, the tongue on the pole happened in A Christmas Story, and of course, Gene Shepard narrates the thing, which is just God. He was good. What a writer and narrator and everything.
Yeah. Does TNT still run that 24/7 over Christmas? They used to.
I don't know. Yeah,
Or
they
does TNT exist? Does TBS exist? I don't even know.
Yes, they
Yeah,
do.
they're
I
still
just
around.
watched hockey on TNT last night, unfortunately.
Okay.
But TNT, I think TBS has it. They used to do 24 hours straight, and now they've shrunken it. I don't know if it's because I'm assuming at some point people are like, I want to watch something else.
Mhm.
But I think it's gone down to like 8 hours straight now. But they do Christmas Story marathon.
Okay. Because I was
Nothing
going to
wrong with
say you could just turn on Netflix or something and watch A Christmas Story or wherever it is, Prime.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. So the 24/7 marathon doesn't necessarily ring true anymore.
Catherine and I've been watching one every night. We watch a Christmas movie every night, which is good. We were going to watch one last night, but it's 2.5 hours long. It's like, no, I'm not watching a Christmas movie that's 2.5 hours long.
That's a long one.
That's
Charlie
very
sent me more recommendations for you too. I just remembered.
Excellent.
Let me let me get my glasses.
No, forget it.
Yep. He said another Hallmark. Oh, this is actually a good one too. The parody that Anna Gasteyer and Rachel Dratch did on it's on Paramount Plus. It's a Cluster Funk Christmas.
Cluster Funk, good.
Cluster Funk. So Paramount Plus, and it makes fun of all of the tropes of Hallmark movies. So that one is really, really good. And then there was one more. Oh, Christmas with the Campbells with Vince Vaughn.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So Charlie is out there working hard for you this Christmas season.
That's all Charlie ever does.
Yeah, sending you recommendations. So
No question about it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we want to find a couple of more. Obviously, we watched George C. Scott in Christmas Carol because he just nailed that role. God, he was good. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, so we want to find a couple more. What is today, the 19th? So I guess, we'll find 4 or 5 more of them, get through the holiday season. That'd be wonderful.
There's plenty. There's plenty out there. There's so many good ones. You should rewatch Miracle on 34th Street. That's my favorite. So.
That's another great one.
Yeah.
You 3 of you get to vote. What is the worst Christmas movie you've ever seen? Or do you just block it out of your mind? Is it that bad?
So mine's going to be unpopular.
I can say it.
Because it's a good movie. I just can't stand it. A Christmas Story. Like, TNT, they're doing the 24-hour marathon. I will watch 0 minutes of the Christmas Story marathon.
It's a wonderful, wonderful story.
And I get it. It's nostalgic and all of that. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Oh, I actually have mine. I just realized it. We talked about it yesterday. Hot Frosty.
Oh.
It is a new movie this year on Netflix.
Frosty.
Hot Frosty. And it's
Okay.
Stacey Chabert, who is always a delight, and I love interviewing her. However, this was a movie about a single woman who falls in love with a snowman who turns into a real boy, a real man. I know, but it's really creepy. And it's from one of the...
That's nice.
It's creepy. Why would you, like, a snowman turns into a man and then you fall in love with him? And
It's kind of like a Princess and the Frog type situation.
yeah, but, you know, if he was inside in the heat, he'd have to go back out in the cold because, you know.
Yep.
It was really weird. I mean, it was unhinged, so it's kind of like a fun hate watch, but it's pretty bad.
No, so none for me. I won't be watching it.
I don't think you should watch it. If you want to hate watch something, then yes, but
I don't want to do that. So what was the one you recommended again?
Our Little Secret on Netflix.
Our Little Secret. Okay. I have got to watch that. Maybe tonight will be the one. We do want to watch another one, but 2.5 hours of a Christmas movie is too much.
That's a lot. I would also say stay away because I watched this one last year. Hated every single second of it. It's on Netflix. It's called A Christmas Prince.
Never heard of it.
I know because it's a whole series. There's
series.
like 3 of them.
Yes, and I love my girlfriend. I was forced to watch all the parts. Hated every single second. I gave it a shot. The first one was 90 minutes long.
Okay.
About 60 minutes too long because they take forever getting into it. And it's just like so coincidentally, I'm over here reporting and I'm just going to bump into nothing. There's so many plot holes. The acting's terrible. No character is all that likable. People are too nosy in other people's business. It's all going to come together. And then, hey, by the way, we're going to make 7 more movies. Just stop.
Well, you know the story behind that, right?
No, I don't.
Do you know that it was like an independent film, like just some friends like got together, like made a movie, and then during the pandemic, it became like this big watch over the Christmas season. I think because everybody was just really depressed that year because of COVID, and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" And it was like #1 on Netflix for weeks. So then they made 2 more. And I think what's just really funny is that they are very low budget. You see all the plot holes and things like that, but they were complete sensations because things we watched during the pandemic were not high quality. We were watching Tiger King. Like,
oh my gosh.
If we watch Tiger King now, if it came on in 2024 or early 2025, we'd be like, this is horrible. This is so stupid. But we were all home collectively experiencing weird global trauma.
Yeah.
We watched Tiger King.
I had Tiger King socks. That's how bored I was during the pandemic.
I'm super glad I never watched that. The remaining point that sticks out about A Christmas Prince is at one point she visits the little like cutesy town that like where this prince lives or whatever, and there's a guy that she runs into that owns a shop, and he's like shoveling the front. All he's doing for their entire conversation is shoveling, picking it up, and immediately setting the snow back down at his feet, picking it up, and it's just constant. He's not moving it anywhere. He's not moving it anywhere. It takes 5 seconds to just chuck it over your shoulder and like keep the conversation going. But no, he's pick it up, set it back down. Pick it up, you're not doing anything.
I live in Minneapolis where there's snow. This is not how you do it.
It made me so mad, like irrationally mad.
It all works out. Now you'll be with us tomorrow for the final show before Christmas.
I will, and I'm going to leave you guys all with a question because this is it'll be our last show of 2024. So you can think about it. What do you think was the top like pop culture moment of the year? Because we talk about all these like weird scandals and stories. What do you think on the Tom Barnard Show was maybe the story we discussed the most, or the one we thought about the most, or the one that resonated the most? So homework for all of you. Let's see how we do tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll get it taken care of. No question about it. Thank you, my dear. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Y'all tomorrow.
Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. How about that lineup today? I mean, you got Kristyn Burtt, you got Billy Bob, you got Heather, and
then Judd and
right now. I'm getting a call again. Oh, Carol's calling me. I got to call Carol back. Okay. All right. Well, have a magnificent day, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. There will be no family show today because everybody got snowed in out in the hinterlands. That's the way it is. Talk to you later.
Talk to you.
Bye.